what is the consequence of Parikshit Maharaj was lamenting like anything? Maybe I did a mistake. Maybe I misunderstood. So repentance comes in the heart of a good soul. Otherwise, general tendency is people justify what they have done. What to do? I was feeling hungry and thirsty. Out of thirst, I did it. So it's like we have hundreds of reasons. But repentance comes in the heart of a good soul. He doesn't justify. He thinks really, what did I do wrong? So whenever a devotee does a mistake, he sees that, or he analyzes whether he really did a mistake. And if one is punished for something which one has not done, then one understands it is my past life karma. So he thanks the Lord has reduced my something. So that is the attitude of a devotee. So now we'll see what happens as a consequence. Read 32 and 33.
The sage had a son who was very powerful. Being a Brahmana's son, while he was playing with inexperienced boys, he heard of his father's distress, which was occasioned by the king. Then and there the boy spoke as follows. The Brahmana's son Sringi said, "We just look at the sin of the ruler, who like crows and watchdogs at the door perpetrated sin against their masters, contrary to the principle governing servants."
Yeah. So this child was proud. Something this he was not very proud. Although he was just playing with his friends, it's not that he was doing some meditation anywhere. He was just playing with his friends. The picture is there here. And then what happens is, he starts to become very angry. This ringing. So he becomes very angry and he starts saying, so by his Brahmanical power, or from here he understood that such a thing has been done by Parikshit. So then he starts showing his pride. That this low class Kshatriyas, now it's not low class Kshatriyas, Kshatriya means in the sense that we are Brahmanas, we are high class. So how can these people who are like crows, because what is the habit of crow? It takes away remnants. Watchdogs also, it's like you throw the roti at them and chapati and then they take and go away. So they are taking what is given up by us, Brahmanas. We are guiding them. So that's why we are masters, they are servants, despite that they are trying to show their power over us. So he becomes very angry. So in one sense it's true, because Brahmanas are the one who give guidance to the Kshatriyas and they don't enjoy it. It's Kshatriyas who enjoy the wealth. But that is not how Brahmanas would think. Please read 34, 35, 36.
The descendants of kingly order are definitely designated as watchdogs, and they must keep themselves at the door. On what ground can dogs enter the house and claim to dine with the master on the same plate? 35. After the departure of Lord Sri Krishna, the substantive Godhead and supreme ruler of everyone, these upstarts have flourished. Our protector being gone, therefore I myself shall take up this matter and punish them. Just witness my power. The son of the Rishi, his eyes red hot with anger, touched the water of the river Kaushik while speaking to his playmates and discharged the following thunderbolt of words.
So now he's like chastising. If we see a opposite behavior between Kardam Muni and Manu, Swambhu Manu. When Swambhu Manu came along with his daughter to give it to Kardam Muni. So both of them were glorifying each other. Swambhu Manu was glorifying the Brahmanas like Kardam Muni, and Kardam Muni was glorifying the Kshatriyas like Swambhu Manu. So that's the attitude. So the Vedic attitude is that one is not very proud of his prowess.
Yes.
One rather recognizes the qualities of other person. So that time Shambhu, this Kardamuni was saying that it is because you emperors like you travel over the whole world and protect the Brahmanas that we are able to practice our austerities. You are able to practice the dharma. And similarly, Shambhu Manu was very grateful to Kardamuni saying that just because Brahmanas like you are protecting the religion, we are able to rule in this world. So that's it's a Vedic culture, the culture of gratitude, not a culture of pride. Rather, many kings like Muchkunda was such a king that Indra sought his help for defeating the demigods. And when Muchkunda introduced himself to Krishna, he said that I am Chhatrabandhu. I am a friend of a Kshatriya, I am not worthy to be called a Kshatriya. So that is humility. So in Vedic culture, people don't recognize themselves as Brahman, Kshatriyas of having high caste. It is others who recognize them. So they say that I am not worthy to be called Brahmana. Others say no. By your qualities, we can say that you are a Brahmana. Or I am not a Kshatriya, I am a friend of a Kshatriya. But others say no, you have qualities of a Kshatriya. So that's the Vedic culture. Vedic culture is not a culture of pride. Yes.
How this gain of strength or mystic power is working, because we see that this young child has not really enough qualities to really be qualified to use that power. The same was with Ashvatthama. Or we see demons like Hiranyakashipu doing like stupid thing, standing on one feet, and they get supreme power. How is it working?
So these are certain laws of nature. So like we have ways of getting gross skills. Gross skills might like somebody who plays as Mridangam. But he may be singing some Hollywood or Bollywood songs on Mridangam. Mridangam is not meant for that. Mridangam is meant to be singing Krishna's glories. So like we have gross skills, similarly there are subtle skills. They can be obtained through austerities. But in Vedic culture it was duty to give a person values before the skills. But there are discrepancies at many times, and that is how all such results come out. Like in Satyuga, according to this, it's called Viman Shastra. Yes, Viman Shastra. Satyuga, there were no planes required, no airplanes. Because people had the siddhi to fly from one place to another. Everybody would fly from here to there. You don't need planes for that. In Treta Yuga, according to Viman Shastra, they would fly with mantra power. They would chant mantras and planes would move from one place to another. Like Pushpaka Viman was there with Ravana.
Where Ravan also using that mantra to fly.
Mantras to fly. But those Vimanas go by mind. If one's mind is not controlled, one may think, what if this plane would go in the ocean? Immediately plane will go in the ocean. One may drown. So that's why for uncontrolled people such powers are not there. In Dwapar Yuga, they would work through rituals. People would perform certain rituals, some yagyas, and the planes would fly from that. Certain rituals would perform. And in Kali Yuga, they are supposed to run through Mercury engines. So in Viman Shastra, there are Mercury engines. So it's like, this is not something Vedic given by any Acharya, but if you see the photographs of UFOs, they exactly match with these Mercury engines. Mercury, M-E-R-H-G, Mercury.
This element, mercury.
Yeah. So they would be using those elements for mechanical means to run the aeroplanes. So that's given in the Vedic scriptures. Rather, many temples, like Srirangam temple, entire temple is just made of Vimanas. Each of the speeds of different Vimanas of different demigods is given there. In center they have Vimana of Krishna. I don't know, it's like, they say that it's made of pure gold. So they're in center.
Vimanam is flight, right?
Vimanam is airplanes.
So the vehicle made that.
And so Vimanas are there. The whole structure is made in the form of Vimanas, means the sculpture is Vimana sculpture.
I'm sorry, just try to understand. You say those Vimanas, they work by strength of mind. So, how demons can be pure in mind to such a point that they can control easily a flight but not worship the Supreme Lord?
When motives are not right, it happens. Like for example, those who are surgeons, those who do surgery, such a high level of concentration is required. I know surgeons who can do surgery of an embryo. Can you imagine? They can do surgery of a brain of an embryo. So such a concentration is required. None of us can do that. But they are not devotees. They are not devotees. So concentration of the mind it is helpful element to practice Krishna consciousness, but as such it has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness.
Usually we say that in Bhagavad Gita, Naushakaya and Tasha, so to have concentration of the mind.
It's easier. It's easy to concentrate when one is practicing Krishna consciousness, but then it's not necessary that one may be having concentration. Like we were giving an example of Yashoda. Yashoda has such a fickle mind, she would be so much worried about Krishna all the time. Her mind would go here, there all the times.
So they have determination, but
Yes.
no purity?
Determination, mode of passion and ignorance.
Okay, determination but no purity.
Yes. We read in Bhagavad Gita, determination, mode of passion, ignorance,
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah,
Austerity is also then goodness, passion, ignorance.
okay, I understand. This transfer of power from the song here, Shringi,
Uh-huh.
the song is called
Ah,
Shringi.
yes, yes.
Where does that power come from? From the semen of the father, from the boon of the devatas, from the adjustment of the planets? How did he get the tejas?
It's both the things are there because one is born in a particular family because of one subtle body. So when one subtle body is in mode of goodness, one is born in such families of Brahmanas. At the same time, those who don't speak a lie, they get the power that whatever they speak becomes truth. Those who have a habit of speaking lie, they don't get such power. So Brahmanas don't speak a lie. They are known for speaking truth. And that is how they get the power that whatever they speak comes out to be true. So each austerity has certain results. It's a big austerity to speak truth all the time. Even for devotees, it's like speaking truth all the times.
But this requires a few generations, no? Or is it possible without having those sanskars and parents?
See, when we say generation, it is more for a community purpose. Community purpose means when you want to establish Varnashram, then when the proper semen is preserved down the lines, so then because of those Garbhadam sanskaras, the progeny is very good. But for an individual, because he had a particular type of subtle body, that is why he got that sort of cross body. He was born in that family. So that's how they get such powers. Okay. So now see, now he is not able to see, this is something very amazing. That Parikshit is the same person who is protected by Krishna. And what is he speaking? Because Krishna had disappeared, such fellows have appeared in this world. Krishna has only sent such a person to the earth. Rather, he was getting destroyed. Krishna is the one who saved him. So that is exactly what happens when one is extremely proud and when one is in anger. So anger destroys the intelligence. Krodha bhavati sammoha. Sammoha smriti vibhrama.
Class will appear.
Yes. So anger destroys all discrimination power. So that is how he was speaking about Krishna, he remembers Krishna, but then he forgot that it is Krishna who has placed Parikshit Maharaj on that post. And it is because of Parikshit Maharaj, the Krishna consciousness is still spreading on in the world. You forgot that. So the power of anger. Please read 37, 30, 39.
The Brahmana's son cursed the king thus: on the seventh day from today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched one of that dynasty, Maharaj of Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of etiquette by insulting my father. Thereafter, when the boy returned to the hermitage, he saw a snake on his father's shoulder, and out of his grief he cried very loudly. O Brahmanas, the rishi who was born in the family of Angira Muni, hearing his son crying, gradually opened his eyes and saw the dead snake around his neck.
Yeah. So it is because of the cry of Sringi that Samyak Rishi came back to his senses. By now he was able to understand that he did a big blunder. So that is exactly what happens during the time of anger. When a person is angry, he forgets everything. Even the common sense is lost.
Yeah.
So out of anger, just to show his friends that I am such a big Brahmana, he showed by the power of cursing. He showed his power of cursing. So although he was speaking that no, now this Parikshit will die in 7 days, but now he understood what I have done. It's unequivocal reaction. Like it took me long time to understand that when Daksha criticized Lord Shiva, what was wrong from the side of Nandi and other people. So after a long time I understood. So I was at Radhanath Maharaj giving class in our temple hall. So I asked Maharaj. Maharaj was telling it's unequivocal anger. So that's why it's very difficult for people to control the anger. Control the anger means you become angry whenever it is required, but you don't become swayed away by the anger. It's like for getting the work done, sometimes you may have to become angry. But if anger controls you, then it destroys the intelligence. Then one does what one is not supposed to do. So suddenly they did a big blunder by cursing. But then Nandi and associates, they gave such a curse, didn't give curse just to Brahmanas, their entire race forever to come. All of you will become atheists. If they become atheists, where the hope of reformation for them? When will they come to the senses that they have done something wrong? So they were supposed to fight back because their master was being criticized, but not the way to the level they did it. So that is how anger destroys everything. We have seen sometimes very extreme reactions of people. So one couple, as far as I remember, it was in Bangalore. I'm not exactly sure. So both husband and wife had a fight. Husband said no. Wife was cooking something for the husband. He just came from the office. So wife told that no, please take care of the child for some time. Husband told, I am too tired. No, you need to take care of the child. And wife said that I take care for the whole day, but if you don't take care of the child, then how will I cook? And he said, I can do it, but I am very tired. Wife said, why don't you do it? It is your child only. So then he said that, no, keep quiet now, I am very disturbed. Otherwise I'll take some severe action. She said, let us see what severe action you will take. He said, if you speak more, then I'll throw away this child. And wife said, okay. So throw away the child. And he really threw away the child. After throwing the child from balcony, then he realized what he did. So sometimes people in anger, they are totally destroyed. So it's like...
How to have control anger?
So only one is very qualified, one can utilize anger. Otherwise, better not be angry. Leave the place before you become angry.
Yeah.
Don't get into those circumstances. So don't, when there is a fight, better to go away. Move out of the place. And then when your mind is calm, then utilize your intelligence what to do. So getting swayed away by emotions is very, very dangerous. One has to learn to understand that I am different from the emotions. Get away from the place. Especially when one is angry, one should not take actions. It's like Bhakti Didi Damodar Maharaj was giving a formula. Whenever some seniors give you correction and or they scold you very heavily, then he said, don't do anything for at least for 2 days. Don't do anything for 2 days. Means don't go to him or clarify or do anything. So he said, first of all, first thing is, don't defend yourself. Just hear whatever he is scolding and don't say him anything. After 2 days, when your mind is calm, then write down what did he say. After that, contemplate what he said, is it right or wrong? And if you can't understand it, go to some senior devotee and understand why did he do such a thing. Then you approach some other person and then hear from him. But first thing, immediate thing is, don't respond. If you respond, you are gone.
But if you are not responding, they'll say, why you are not saying anything?
Better not say anything. Better not say anything.
But Prabhuji, this is fine with a man and a man. If it's a woman, if you enter Grihastha, the lady will freak out if you don't talk. So, then she will only throw you off the balcony. So, it's a variety. It's a different emotional beings that we are. So, with time, things. I used to get angry. I took a glass piece and threw it at my brother. He had. Of course, I was young but now I have 3 kids. I homeschool them. Otherwise, I would have murdered them. All kids are sitting at home on your head, and that also in US, nobody around you. It's intense, but with Krishna consciousness and with time, with age, when your hair grows grey, you learn. And first thing is you hear everybody's experiences. Hearing is first class intelligence. You learn from them. So you learn that you screw up so many things. I have screwed up so many things in my relationships, but with that we grew, and I don't know. Krishna helps. If you really cry, we cry every time we cry.
Anyway, Mara was giving classes to brahmacharis.
It's a dynamic thing with he's not always going to be a brahmachari. I hope, whatever he wants, whatever Krishna wants. But it's not very straightforward. One solution fits all. Some people,
Anyway, Mara was speaking in terms of when you get scolding from seniors. So generally,
wife is also the senior. So now you have to learn to, because it cannot be one answer fit all. Because yesterday also when you said tolerate, it is so difficult to tolerate. It is just not, when you are young and all, it is hard to even accept how he was asking, and you have to see the world. But that's why, those who are not Krishna conscious, but they are old, they have wisdom. With age comes wisdom, with knowledge comes wisdom. But with experience, there's a vast amount of difference in your personality. So, of course, Krishna consciousness helps. But because when devotees speak, seriously, when they say you tolerate, you do this, it's not super easy. One solution will not fit everybody. I do devotee calls. I know how different variety devotees are, and the conflicts in marriage and all. It is not for not one solution like a fight.
What Prabhu is trying to say is, instead of immediately
Yes.
react to that situation, you just hold it. When somebody scolds you, you don't need to immediately reply anything. You just hold, let them say whatever they want to say. After some time, you can see they will be going down.
see, main thing is when the intelligence is not the only principle which I would derive from this whole thing is when the intelligence is not proper. Generally, it's not easy to act even when you know how to act. It's like, let us say your wife is also there, you know you are supposed to reply, you will not reply in the right place, right time, right way.
Yes.
You can do that only when the intelligence is calm. It's like when the lake is very turbulent, you can't see what is there inside the lake.
No, I perfectly agree with you, but it takes years to even understand that to keep quiet. After 17, 15 years of
15
my
is
marriage
sadhana.
also, my husband, now it is, I have seen him for the past 6 months or so. Anything happens, first thing he'll be like, I'm sorry. And that resolves maximum things. But it wasn't there for 15 years. It takes time. It takes time. You go up and down, and you learn. And I don't want this thing, so I have to keep quiet. Sometimes in third class intelligence, you have to go through it to understand it. So, I mean, most of the time I don't agree with people when speakers will be like, okay, do this or do this. It is not one size fit all.
So,
Because it's age and all, because people are young, they are very, enthusiastic to, and very, very hyper active in the mind.
Yeah, it depends on personalities also.
Yeah.
Depends on personalities. There are some people, like, at least I can tell about myself. I never reacted because from childhood it's like,
More of the
unless until you kill me, I'll not respond.
you're blessed. Yeah.
So you can be frustrated with me, I don't respond. But you can't be frustrated with me because I overreacted.
You're in the good ashram.
Just, that's a question. I face, I've been one time angry in my Krishna consciousness, and because I was facing a head pujari and a woman, so I know what happens when you deal with a woman and you don't answer to it, and she accumulates bad words, bad false accusation, and so on, and you don't react, but
It keeps on building.
it keeps on building. That's what happened. At some point, I took my shada and I threw at her head.
Took your what?
My shada of Pujari, and I threw because that was a day festival and I was doing extra service. I was really tired, and she told me, whatever. Whatever she told me, but I was not able to keep after the 10 accusation while I was doing my service, and I was trying to concentrate myself and to do it good and nicely. At some point I just took my shada and I left my service, and the day after I came, I waited 2 days actually, and I came and say, please, can you forgive me? And she says, and she left. She never forgave me since that day. She never wanted to. So I know that you should not react, because I have experienced that you may not get also the forgiveness of the person you offended. But in the same time, there is people like this who they want a reaction, so they push and they push and they push.
Because
And you are doing your service.
sometimes you remain silent, but that was not your fault. Then they say, "Arey, why you did not tell that time, after 1 year or after 6 months, why you were saying that? This misunderstanding would have been cleared 6 months before. Why are you saying now? Things have escalated."
Anyway, relationships are like one who can relate with all devotees is a Madhyamadikari. Till then it's very kanishta. Prem Mantri Kripa Vichaya Kardusha Madhyama. Not-
Sometimes the age also doesn't give them the wisdom unless they are sincerely and seriously want to follow Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
Sometimes you ask forgiveness, they will keep what happened 20 years ago, and you just don't forgive him. You don't talk about 6 months. After 10, 20 years, you can explain to them, but they don't understand.
Actually, knowledge along with experience gives realization.
Yes.
Knowledge alone doesn't give realization, and the experience alone doesn't give realization. Sabda verified by Pratyaksha and Anuman gives realization. So it's not like Sabda alone, or very few people understand this by Sabda.